Hi there, my name is Eliza DeVries, and I'm a medium, an astrologer, and a healer. I think we're all healers in our essence, but my life path shifted from a very business-like upbringing and studies in economics and accounting and the stock market to going into the art world, from there moving into my present existence, where I had a major awakening after many years of working with horses and children. I had a major awakening at age 48 and shifted completely into the more metaphysical worlds. So I took up a deep practice of spiritual astrology, which is a way of looking into your chart, and by examining the chart from a essence standpoint, you see and find deep, profound answers for why you chose the parents you did, the circumstances of character growth that were required, and the challenges that you brought in from other lives that you now decided to confront in this life. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody looking at their spiritual chart will see it that way. Many might just look for predictive, mundane answers of the chart, but the study of the esoteric astrology is really not that concerned with how much physical abundance you have. It's more concentrated on the abundance from within, the connection to your soul, the messages from your soul, the intentions that you set out before you came into this life to uncover those intentions and live by them. Each of us having individual intentions according to the many lives we've lived and the karma. And karma can be good. There can be good karma in your chart, as much as karma where you feel somebody come in your life and you feel you owe them or wish to help them or have a desire to in some way support them. Someone else may come in your life that you could have had an antagonistic on the field of battle, literally, experience with. So when they come into this life, you're feeling an edginess or a sense of having to protect yourself. And so part of the journey of going to the soul and hearing the messages of the soul and developing more love and wisdom within your own being and growing in that capacity to express mercy is that you will then not react to the triggers of the external world. Obviously, that's a massive task ahead of us. I feel that we were born once. I feel that this time on earth, we are all going through a rebirth. And the rebirth is what I saw when I meditated was a huge cocoon over all the earth and all of humanity underneath this cocoon. Within that cocoon, I saw small cocoons of individual beings, not realizing, because they were in their own incubated being, personality, that they were part of that larger cocoon. So part of the growth will be as those cocoons break open and we emerge, as many of us will be like reborn individuals, or facing life with new perspectives, or even changing our life entirely, or living out something similar to what our life was before we entered the cocoon, but with a whole new vision and a whole new understanding of why we chose that path to begin with. So I feel that right now, if you think about the cocoon and you think about the caterpillar in the cocoon, there's enormous growth going on within that cocoon, and yet it just looks like a chrysalis hanging off the stem of a plant. but within that cocoon is huge transformation. So this cocoon of enforced cocoon is really bringing us to a place of accelerated growth, more profound understandings of our own existence and our own ego and our own attachment to materialism and the disparities on our earth right now than at any other time in history. This is a profound time of shift, and the butterfly, I feel, is being created over time according to our individual capability for self-reflection and change within our own being. Thus will there be a larger and faster emergence from the cocoon. The cocoon will not feel so fearful. It will not feel so isolated. It will actually feel like a wonderful hermit's dwelling place in which immense growth is taking place. Here we go. Okay, Seisha, could you stop that, Jojo? Here we are. It never fails. So now we got the mailman coming and people going through the gate. I'm sorry about that, but we'll just keep going. So right now, there are a lot of people on the earth facing the fact that they could lose their jobs, they could lose their home, they could lose the rental, they could lose the capability to provide the same nutrition for their children, for themselves. And there's a sense of, it's like sitting somewhere and feeling things pulled away from us, not realizing that at a soul level, the things that are being pulled away from us are things that we knew at a core level of our soul that these times would be upon us at our individual ages. Personally, for my own life, I went through a lot of, that's Bingo. He's very lonely right now because his best friend is not too well. Come on, you're going to come and lie down here. I feel that my life was kind of given the accelerated push since I was about age 4. And then having gone through the death of a lot of people and the loss of my home 3 times, and changing my career and having to be resourceful and innovative over and over and over, and at the same time supporting 7 people for many years and then 5 people for many more years. And right now I am supporting 4 people, so including myself. So what I'm trying to say out of all that is that obviously my path was a path of learning to stand on my own legs and to leave behind the cocoon of great monetary security, and to seek out and find the depth of the inner spiritual security from my spirit. So I feel right now that what all of us are going through at some level is we're asking ourselves to really understand what is the meaning of courage, what is the meaning of valor, what is the meaning of survival from a stand place of staying calm, clear, and focused on what we need to do in the moment. It's not about getting down the road too far. Will the virus return? How is it going to come back? What is going to happen to the economy? Yes, these are all real external experiences in our physical world. But basically right now, I feel it's the development of courage, loyalty, compassion, mercy, and support for each other. So I started the video by mentioning the disparity, which I feel is one of the prime reasons that we are where we are right now. That there's an enormous disparity on Mother Earth between the wealthy, the very wealthiest, and those that have very little. And right now there's a huge focus on whether there's going to be in certain countries famines and a lot of more deaths coming through starvation than there will be through the virus. So that disparity and that greed and that overwhelming control by the oligarchs of many branches of our society, whether it's the drug industry or the financial institutions or the political field, and the way that politics unfolds, what goes on behind the scenes, the corruption, the graft, all that we are now looking to recreate with the Pluto on Saturn a new stable foundation to the next stage of our life and of our country, of our cities, of our country. And it's going to be much more of a grassroots support system. So that's why you're seeing, even though we are wanting the president to take the leadership role and set out a general solution for where we are right now, because of the circumstance of who we chose, it's actually coming into more local governments. You're seeing like the mayor of New York speak, you're seeing the governor of New York, you're seeing the governors in other states speak, and you're seeing less polarity, and you're seeing less argument amongst the different, Democrats and Republicans. You're seeing less of that going on, because basically what people are looking at right now is the survival of their communities and of their families and of themselves, physically, emotionally. So I'm going to do a series of videos of the development of courage within our own being and how we can get through this time. And the second part I would like to do videos on will be the movement inward to uncover the great gifts of your soul that may have been untapped up until this moment, and to pull those out and to consider how you could rearrange those gifts that you individually have so that you could take your individual essential gifts and put them into the world to make our world a better place. So I feel that people are going to have jobs more aligned with their soul longing, with their soul intention than has ever been before. And I feel that there will be a way that we accumulate those gifts and structure those gifts so that it's almost like we create the future from our gifts. We look around us in the future and see what is needed, and then pull forth our individual gifts and place them out there to fill the slot of what is going to be required. I also feel that then we will try to figure out from that how to create a livelihood and a sense of internal abundance, security, and faith from the rebuilding of our own lives. So it will probably be that we end up looking around ourselves and eliminating a great deal of what we own right now, and considering to share with others what we have with a far more generous, open heart. I think we're going to see more bartering, where one service is offered in lieu of another service, and there are going to be exchanges done. It's not all going to be the earning of money, but there are going to be ways that people offer their unique capabilities to another, and through that there's a sense of both people being fulfilled. So I'd like to draw a couple of cards on what I feel is coming up over the next month. First, I think I'd like to draw a card of the essence of the whole of humanity under the cocoon. What is the message of that? Of the whole of humanity under the cocoon. What is the message? The card I got is the card of kindness. It's the card of speaking with more kindness. There's a renewal of sort of a sense of innocence, of childlike dreams and hopes. The child is holding a cup, so it's an emotional uncovering. So in other words, the message for humanity is not coming through the mind, it's coming through the heart. So the way to hear those messages is to literally listen to our own hearts and to write down what are the longings of our heart. And obviously one of the longings of our heart is to find more meaning in our life and to reach for, you don't have to call it spirituality, but something that gives us a sense of purpose beyond the obvious, a sense of longing to connect to a higher and better and deeper inner part of our own being. The Page of Cups is very gentle, so there's a new gentleness we need to learn. We were getting pretty outlandish and judgmental with our words, so there's a sense of learning kindness. So I feel the two attributes that we're developing right now are courage with kindness. And that courage with kindness comes from a place of immense inner stillness and gentle understanding of the suffering of others. In our individual cocoons, what is man learning individually? Now, out of 84 cards, look what I got. So it's a collective learning of the courage with kindness and the renewal of innocence, the depth of the holy part of our own being, uncovering that. And so we're learning it individually and we're learning it collectively. I find that quite amazing. When you look at this deck, it's got 84 cards in it, and the same card came out twice. That's beautiful. Could you tell me the month of May, a card for the month of May for humanity? This card is the Queen of Cups. So we've got a lot about cups today. She's wearing something similar to what I'm wearing today. I'm a water woman. She's a water woman. So again, it's the woman, it's the female essence of man and woman. It's the divine feminine that's being awakened right now. And our Holy Mother Earth is also part of the divine feminine. She's wearing a leopard coat, so she's got a sense of, if you look at her, she's kind of in her own little isolation booth, and the leopard representing a sense of the independence of the cat. She's holding a cup and she's saying, this is my gift for humanity. And she's looking down into the cup. She's not looking at us, she's looking into the cup. So she's looking into her own heart. And if you notice, the cup is right in front of her heart, because the heart is connected to our feeling nature and to the depths of our soul. The way to our heart, to our soul, is through our heart. And so that's the next month, is about becoming emotionally purified and tapped in to our heart message and what is our heart gift for the world. It's very beautiful, very encouraging. If you look, she's still not fully engaged in the outer world yet. She is engaged in looking inwards to her own being. So the more, I would love if we could all get a little notebook and put our hands over our heart and ask our hearts, what is it you wish to say to me about this time? What do you wish to say about this gift that I have developed over lifetimes, that I should now be sharing with humanity, with society, with my friends, with my family, with myself? So let's do some heart listening over the next few weeks and see what we hear. Another thing I do every night is I put both of my hands over my heart. First of all, I give myself a healing every night with one hand on my upper chest where we hold our grief, because we all have grief of one form or another, and the other one on my solar plexus to reinforce my will and my sense of self in this lifetime, because we need a confident sense of self. And then I take both hands and I put them on my heart every night and I say, thank you, heart. Thank you, lungs. Thank you, liver. Thank you. And I take my hands and I put them on different organs of my body and I give great gratitude. Thank you to my eyes. Thank you to my soul for speaking to me. And I thank myself for listening. We need to listen. Listen first to our heart, and you'll know what to do next in each and every moment. I'd like to end there. If you personally would like to know how this entire breakdown of astrological aspects are affecting your chart, or individually, intuitively, how they're affecting your heart, just contact me at angelicmercy44@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you did. And please feel free to share on your wall. I really would love to get these messages out there to more people. And I thank all of you for tuning in and staying with me this far. God be with you, and may we all develop within ourselves the capacity to hear the merciful heart that exists within each and every one of us. Thank you. God bless you.